Today, I want to talk about the theory that Adam himself will become a sinner, and how that would play out in the show. If you need more Hazbin Hotel goodness in the meantime, go check out the video I made reacting to your comments. Pretty sure it's the used to be hostel? The preliminary purgatory penthouse for pardon. The halfway house of heck. Your responses to the fun animations we've been adding to the background, and even other people like Nux reacting to our videos.
First of all, again, that is Christianity. Judaism, serpent is not symbolizing fallen angels. There is no concept of fallen angels in Judaism, so...
Link in the pinned comment down below and at the end of the video. Now, until the end of Season 1, the rules for heaven and hell seemed rather simple. Humans live on Earth. People who are seemingly sinful end up in hell. People who are seemingly moral end up in heaven. In both cases, the humans become a soul, either angelic or demonic, based on where they reside. As a soul, they are immortal. They can experience physical damage, but it heals, or else they re-manifest entirely if they are annihilated. The only way to actually kill a sinner or angel was with an angelic weapon, made by angelic steel, which, for whatever reason, seems to deal permanent damage to a soul and will permanently end their existence. In the background of hell, there are eyes and mouths growing on things that ancient live streams by VivziePop explains as being the essence of dead sinners infecting everything around it. Thus, the consciousness and physical existence of a sinner ends, but they become something of a dark energy that still exists in some monstrous, non-sentient form. A punishment perhaps worse than just truly disappearing into nothingness. However, in the finale, we of course saw that Serpentius had managed to re-manifest after being annihilated entirely by Adam's magical beam, and viewers want me to theorize about whether or not that means Adam may re-manifest not as an angel, but as a sinner. Right now, Adam has clearly died from an angelic weapon, which, as discussed earlier, should put an end to his soul instead of manifesting again. Serpentius, meanwhile, was annihilated entirely by a magical beam that Adam has. As of now, we are told that only angelic weapons can kill sinners and such, so we have no reason to think that this beam Adam has allows him to naturally kill sinners. And if it did, I think it would make the idea of angels killing sinners a lot less controversial in heaven. It would almost seem like Adam was meant to have that sort of power if he naturally wielded it. And if he did, he wouldn't really need an army. He uses his beams to cause carnage while his army is doing the real work, it seems, but he doesn't seem to be able to just blow everyone up the way he did with Serpentius' ship. Otherwise, he likely would have. I think Adam used his beams for Serpentius simply because the warship could have caused some serious damage to his soldiers even if it couldn't kill them, who are mostly supposed to be fighting with weapons in direct combat, not against giant machines. For Charlie and the others in particular, Adam's goal is to have them permanently die, not just to re-manifest later, so he seems to have reserved the beam just for helping the battle and not causing direct deaths. With that in mind, I really don't think he will re-manifest as a sinner, and if Serpentius had been killed by an angelic weapon, I don't think he'd have re-manifested in heaven. Some say Adam is too cool and fun of a character to not have around in Season 2, and while I get that vibe, it also seems like Lute is being set up to be a more important villain as the series goes on, one who we can actually take kind of seriously with Adam being a lot more funny, and his death may have been considered the important motivator to a plotline that is ultimately more about Lute. But if Adam were to manifest as a sinner after his death for one reason or another, how would that pan out in the show? First and foremost, I think Adam would become an actual member of the Hazbin Hotel. As fun as it would be for Sinner Adam to descend into the ranks of hell and become a different kind of antagonist working against the hotel, I think it would be inevitable that he would be forced to live under Charlie's guidance. Adam would be given the choice, I think, by Sarah. While he would be upset about Serpentius essentially taking his place in heaven, Sarah would see Adam at the hotel as taking care of multiple issues at once. She had dismissed the hotel previously because there was no proof that it would redeem anyone, but after Serpentius rising to heaven and Adam falling to hell, Sarah would have to let it operate to some degree, especially at Emily's insistence. By placing Adam there, she could achieve one of a few things. First, she could legitimately get him redeemed. If Adam had managed to re-manifest as a sinner, Sarah probably would not be very surprised after seeing Serpentius in heaven, as Adam seems to have always acted rather sinful and arrogant even around her. If Serpentius could be redeemed, she would imagine Adam could be too, even after a fall, and the Hazbin Hotel would be the perfect way to prove that. However, it would also give some sense of angelic authority within the hotel, which Sarah would want to help solve potential problems, but which Adam would inevitably abuse. He'll likely position himself as being more important than the other guests, not just Angel, but also other people who joined the hotel after its success from season 1. Of course, Adam wouldn't want to become subservient to Charlie, who is the daughter of the first woman ever who refused to be subservient to Adam to begin with, and this would be the most humiliating possibility for him. From the very beginning, he wouldn't be just trying to position himself as an authority, but also trying to sneak around the hotel and sabotage what he could, find any dirt possible to make the place seem unsafe to heaven, and plotting little revenges against everyone in the group. Alistair in particular, I think, would be given permission to watch over Adam, making it so Adam has to answer to the powerful overlord he actually managed to push back in the season 1 finale. Alistair, I think, would ultimately reverse engineer this so that Adam's plan for sabotage ends up working, but only in a way that benefits Alistair when he eventually calls in his favor with Charlie and tries to escape his own soul deal. Meanwhile, Angel, I think, would be extremely suspicious of him, just like he was of Serpentius, who of course turned out to be an agent of the 3 Vs. Right now, we don't know exactly what the 3 Vs are going to be doing in Season 2, and working with Adam would be an interesting turn of events. They were, in some ways, pro-Exorcist, wanting the hotel and those inside of it to be destroyed, though it's kind of curious why Valentino is so okay with letting Angel, his biggest asset, go to war here. Like Serpentius, Adam could be a secret agent in the hotel who reports back to them, maybe even trying to give info to Sarah first, but turning to the 3 Vs when Sarah starts to lean towards liking and helping the hotel. The 3 Vs could easily team up with Adam, I think, offering him a special place in Hell's hierarchy and ultimately abusing him to sabotage the hotel to get to Alistair and Angel. Then, of course, there is Lilith. Season 1 ended with Lute telling Lilith that she needs to go down to Hell and essentially sabotage Charlie's hotel because of how it's shaking up heaven. While I theorized in the past that she may have been the one to make a soul deal with Alistair and that he may be her agent working at the hotel for her, it would be very interesting for her to finally go down herself and have to meet none other than Adam. She had made a deal with Adam, it would seem, to get into heaven, allowing her to enjoy paradise while leaving her family behind, and having Adam now be in hell while she's in heaven would be a perfect twist. While she is being sent down by Lute to sabotage the hotel, I think Lilith would ultimately want to sabotage Adam, finding a way to make sure he stays at this hotel, likely knowing he could never truly redeem himself now that he is here. All she would need to do then is sabotage him in other ways to make sure he doesn't get in Sarah's good graces by making the hotel out to be some sort of enemy. Lilith is sent down to ruin the hotel as well, but in the end could play things just right, so she is balancing the hotel's existence with Lute's demands and keeping Adam a prisoner there as well. And finally, there is Lute herself, who I think would be very happy to see Adam is still alive, but conflicted on him being a sinner. Likely, she'd write it off as the hotel ruining the natural dynamic, perhaps blaming it for somehow switching the fates of Adam and Serpentius in the last battle. But ultimately, I think Season 2 will be a lot more about Lute with Adam not returning. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and don't forget to check out our video where we respond to some of your funny comments. See you guys there. I'm 3Deepcut, your YouTube. Welcome back to Cartoon Universe. 3Deepcut for sure. 3Deepcut is scary. 3Deepcut is absolutely terrifying. The rest are 2D, so 3Deepcut has the advantage of being able to move in a dimension completely undetectable to other Deepcuts. He is truly a horror beyond comprehension. 3Deepcut has the enormous advantage of being a higher dimensional being capable of paranormal and eldritch actions compared to his 2D counterparts.